Every family has its secrets. Locked away behind our front doors are the hidden pasts, the buried scandals, and the life-changing decisions that have shaped our families and our nation.
All my mother's family were murdered in concentration camps. I don't know how I survived.
It's a human right to know who your parents are.
When my mother disappeared, how long it took for the police to take it seriously?
Well, I've heard my father was a spy, so who is this man?
He died of a head injury. I have been told that my father was the cause of his death.
Wow. Every Family Has a Secret uncovers the extraordinary stories behind our everyday lives. This time, 2 Australians explore the mysteries surrounding their mothers. Matthieu Heimel searches for the mother he never knew.
Everything stopped 33 years ago for her in this location.
Uncovering a tale of disappearance and murder.
You don't have to be a homicide investigator to go, well, there's something significant that's happened there.
And Kerry Stevenson digs into her mother's glamorous past.
Wow. So your parents thought my mother was an American actress with no family in Australia?
Revealing the secret history she tried so hard to bury.
Oh, that's definitely her.
I was born in the Philippines. I've been adopted at a very early age. Last year, my 2 boys started to ask me questions about my origins and where they are coming from. I thought that it was time for me to learn more about my story.
In late 2018, a DNA search led to 41-year-old Perth man Matthieu Heimel finding his biological father, Jerry.
Matthew!
Jerry was a US serviceman, stationed in the Philippines in 1978, when Matthieu was conceived. Matthieu received a warm welcome from his new American family.
Hey! Here go Matthew! All the way from Perth, Australia. You believe that?
But the search for his Filipino mother would be a different story. For Matthieu Heimel, discovering the identity of his biological mother should have been a life-changing opportunity to establish contact with her and become part of her life. But there would be no happy reunion. Matthieu learnt that his mother had been declared missing, possibly murdered, in 1987. The case remains unsolved, and Matthieu is determined to do everything he can to find out what really happened to the mother he never knew.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well, I'm Noni. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. So what have you learnt so far about your biological mum?
On my birth certificate, I knew that the name of my mother was Nenita.
Nenita?
Nenita.
Ah.
And she used to be called as well Annie. And after my birth, she couldn't afford to raise me, so this is how I ended up in an orphanage. I spent 1 year and a half in an orphanage, and from that, I've been adopted by a French family.
Is this...
Yes. This is the only photo my adoptive parent got from me.
Oh, how could you refuse this face? Look.
But this is one I got from my orphanage.
So you have a photograph of you and your father over
Yes. Oh, yeah.
There is no mistaking...
Yes. When I saw my father for the first time, I thought, okay, he looks like me.
So what was he able to tell you very much about your mum?
Not much. He told me he only met her 3-4 times.
Can you describe the process that you went through to contact the Filipino relatives?
I remembered that there was one email from my orphanage. They believed that she went back to her province in Guyuan, Eastern Samar. And so from those keywords, I selected 3 groups on Facebook.
Like community groups?
Exactly.
Right.
To maybe reach people who has been in contact with my mother at some point. And I sent the message at 9:30 p.m. and the morning after at 6 a.m. my phone was beeping a lot. Basically, 2 people were my biological uncle and auntie.
That's extraordinary.
They said to me in 1981, she went back to her province, and then she went to work in Manila, where she met an Australian guy called Greg Evans.
Yes.
They stayed over there in Manila for several years, but then they came to Australia to get married in 1985.
So when she arrived in Melbourne, do you know what she was doing?
She started to work at the Melbourne Club. She was a housekeeper.
Oh, okay.
But then she disappeared on the 8th of January 1987. She vanished, and her body has never been found. This is something I didn't expect to find, that my mom maybe has been a victim of a murder, etc. So it was quite intense.
This is your mum?
This is my mom. So that was one of the first photos I could see from her. So that was a very big event for me, very emotional, because, you know, that's my mom.
The end point for you, what will that be? What would you be happy to know?
I prefer to know the truth. I prefer to know the truth.
In his search for the truth, Matthieu has accessed the report from a coronial inquest into his mum's disappearance, held in 1995. An inquiry that did not answer key questions.
This is part of the coroner's conclusion. All of the investigations into the disappearance of Nenita Evans have failed to find any trace of her since she left the Melbourne Club on 8th January 1987. I am satisfied that she has been the victim of foul play and is now deceased. However, the identity of the person or persons contributing to that death cannot be determined. Well, I'm very surprised that based on the inquest, nobody has been found guilty.
Matthieu's newfound Filipino family have been tormented by Nenita's disappearance for years. At one point, they were told that a body fitting her description had been found on an Australian beach. To learn more about this, he's calling Nenita's sister, Josephina, and her daughter, Jennifer.
Hello, how are you going?
We're fine, how are you?
I'm very well, very well. What are your expectations regarding my search?
We're happy that you tried to find your mom. Maybe now we had the chance to know what happened to her, so we're happy.
I was wondering, you know, can you tell me more about when the Australian embassy contacted you?
They sent a letter saying that they found the body of a woman lying on the sand there in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Then they said that my mom or someone in our family need to identify the body if that was your mother. My mom don't have passport, so no one had the chance to go there.
So you never came to Australia and you don't know where is this body they found? I mean, on the beach?
No, after that, we didn't heard anything from the embassy.
So that would be something we can try to find. So what was the impact of Nenita's disappearance on your family 33 years ago?
It really hurt them. Don't cry.
Yeah.
It actually hurt them.
Yeah, and it still does, eh? It is not easy, I know.
Yeah.
I hope that we will be able to find something.
Yeah.
And we can have some kind of peace.
To begin his search, Matthieu has for the first time travelled to Melbourne, the city where his mother sought a new life, only to disappear without a trace.
People are still grieving in the Philippines. They are still affected. I could see it. They were crying, and I can see that I'm not the only one suffering. I'm not the only one.
It is very important for me to be here. Everything stopped 33 years ago for her in this location.
To investigate the body on the beach mystery, Matthieu has come to the Victorian Institute of Forensic Medicine. Dr. Dadna Hartman will test if Matthieu's DNA matches with any of the unidentified bodies on their missing persons database.
What we'll do today is collect a sample for the purposes of getting some DNA profiling. Rub that vigorously against the inside of your cheek.
Like this?
Yep. Wonderful. So what we'll do is actually compare your profile to profiles that we have already on the Victorian Missing Persons DNA database.
Inside me, I hope that I wish that she's still alive somewhere in Australia. But yes, I think it's very important to have a closure for this story.
Matthieu needs to wait a week for the results. A positive match will mean the search for his mum is finally over. In Sydney, 58-year-old Kerry Stevenson is on a mission to unpack her mother's mysterious life.
Well, these are all Picassos, Picasso paintings that Mum had on a wall as you walked into the house. She said that she met Picasso when she used to live in New York in her younger days. And so the assumption was that he'd given her all these fabulous Picassos. After Mum passed away, I actually took them to value them. He took a look at them, didn't even take them out of the frames, and said that they were all copies. And I said, so what do you think they're worth? He said, oh, between $10 and $20. Maybe she wanted them to be real.
Kerry suspects that, like these paintings, her mum Joanne was not all she appeared to be.
A beautiful actress and dancer, once married to one of Hollywood's most powerful executives, Joanne Stevenson was a glamorous woman in the public eye. But to her daughter Kerry, she was an unknown.
Her past was a mystery, and she refused to talk about it. So what was Joanne Stevenson hiding?
Hello,
Hi.
Kerry.
Yes, Noni.
Noni.
So nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Come in.
It wasn't until your mum passed away that you realised that you didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
That it hit you.
I think when she passed away, there was no chance of asking her again.
So what do you know about her early life?
So I think she was born Joanne McDonald.
Right.
She said her father died when she was 2 in a motorbike accident. I don't know whether that was true or not, but we never knew who he was. Her mum we kind of knew, but not that well.
What had she told you about her mother?
She didn't like her mother. She hated her mother for some reason. And I tried to ask her, I said, why did you hate your mother? And she just, I don't want to talk about it. And it was really hard to get her to open up. I didn't know much about her time in Hollywood. I've got a photo here if you want to see it.
Oh, I'd love to see it. She's extraordinary looking. That's such a beautiful shot.
I mean, I know she used to hang out with the sort of Hollywood royalty, but that's all I know.
So what's this piece of paper?
So this was a CV that my mum put together, and it says she was an actress in theatre, television, radio, film in New York, Hollywood.
But on most CVs you would mention every single thing that you had done. So it just strikes me as being quite vague. Have you checked any of these credits to see if they're true?
No.
So what do you want to know?
Who was our mum? Why did she hate her mother so much? Who was her father, and did he really die in a motorbike accident? Why was she who she was?
And why did she not want to tell you?
And why did she not want to tell me?
Kerry is the youngest child and only daughter of Joanne and her second husband, Commander John Stevenson of the Royal Australian Navy. To investigate her mother's story, Kerry has come to Melbourne. She knows Joanne was born here, but knows nothing else about her origins.
Hi, Kerry. Good to meet you.
Nice
Welcome
to meet
Kew.
you. Thank you.
In the suburb of Kew, local historian David White has found a significant landmark in Kerry's mother's life.
Kerry, this is the house where your mother grew up.
No way.
Their childhood home.
Wow. That's extraordinary. With her mum?
With her mother, yes.
Okay.
And her grandmother, as far as we know.
And her grandmother.
Yes.
So there was 3 generations
Yes,
in
there
this
were 3 generations of the family in the house.
What the outside world didn't know was that the walls of this modest cottage were already concealing the family's secrets. Documents reveal that Joanne's life was mysterious from the start. Kerry has never seen her mum's birth certificate.
Okay, so 14th of December 1927.
Yes.
Born Joan May, but she always called herself Joanne, not Joan.
Oh, right.
Parents. Name of the mother, Gladys Ivy Lee, but no father. No father. So her mother was a single mum.
Yes.
Gosh, that would have been tough.
Yes.
So my mother should have been Joan May Lee.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that was the family name.
So I understood my mother's name was Joan MacDonald. I've got some photos here. This is one of her when she was quite young, and the reason that I was thinking MacDonald, it says MacDonald on the back here.
And proof that young Joan used the surname MacDonald has surfaced in a surprising place.
Engagement.
An engagement announcement here.
Oh, this is September 1946. MacDonald Pearson. Joan. Wow. The only daughter of the late Mr. J. MacDonald.
Yes.
To Terence Pearson.
And this is the photograph of your mother, which was published.
It is too.
So you've never heard of this engagement?
Never. Wow. That's quite a lot to take in, but it's good. It's
Yeah.
what I've been looking for. The photograph, that's definitely her. She never spoke about her upbringing. Her mother was a single mum coming up to the Depression. I think it was a very tough upbringing for her. Who was Terence Pearson, who she got engaged to? Did they marry?
After her mother died, Kerry discovered some of her writing, including a story which Kerry suspects tells her mum's own journey.
She writes about a girl called Julie, and I think Julie might have been mum. So this is chapter 2, Escape. The coastline of Australia slowly receded as the liner headed for far-off India, sailing away from all I hated. I, Julie Stein, was chosen to travel abroad as Jeanette, of the ballroom trio, Wallace, Delise and Jeanette. She writes that she went as a dancer to India.
So how closely did Julie's fictitious memoir reflect Joan's real life? Is there evidence of Joan having a dancing career? At the St Kilda Town Hall, Kerry's meeting performing arts historian Carolyn Laffin.
Very nice to meet you.
This is the first time that we see her in the public record.
Wow, so this is 1945, St Kilda Town Hall. On November 13th, an exhibition of dancing will be given by Wally Watson and will be partnered by Dilly McKay and Joan MacDonald. That's my mum.
So there she's there.
Oh, there she's there. Okay.
It was a very glamorous world to be in,
Yeah.
I think.
Gosh. This is Friday, November the 1st, 1946, in The Age. Final appearance before their departure for India. Oh, wow. Wally Watson, Dilys Mackay and Joan MacDonald. What I find fascinating is the date on this is November the 1st, 1946, and we found out that Mum got engaged to somebody called Terence Pearson only in September that year. And it doesn't look like he's going. That sounds to me like she's escaping.
Leaving her fiancé behind, in late 1946, 18-year-old Joan set off to take on the world as Jeanette in the Wallace, Delise and Jeanette dance trio. First stop was India, but by early 1948, they were tripping the light fantastic in a much bigger scene.
Oh, this is exciting. So, May 22nd, 1948, the Evening Telegraph. Jack Anthony's summer season at the Palace opens on Monday. Here we go. A strong company includes Wallace, Delise and Jeanette in dancing artistry. So she's gone from India to Dundee in Scotland.
Yeah, so she's part of the Collins Variety Circuit, which is a really huge variety circuit up and down the UK and throughout Scotland.
But at some point during this tour, things had suddenly changed.
Okay, Aberdeen. Aberdeen girl gets a chance in pantomime. Wallace and Delise recruited her to be their new Jeanette. Oh.
So what's happened to Joan?
She's gone. So something's happened between May and August. So it would be amazing to know what happened. She must have been a very talented dancer, and I actually feel really proud of her. I wonder, with her home life, whether that was a little bit tricky for her. You know, maybe getting opportunity to dance was a way to escape. Where did she go? I don't really know.
What had caused Joan to abruptly abandon her dancing career? Kerry will discover her mum's life had taken an astonishing turn. Matthieu Heimel is in Melbourne searching for information about his birth mother Nanita, who disappeared without a trace in 1987. He's come to the house where Nanita was living at the time she went missing, the home she shared with her husband, Greg Evans. While poor health has prevented Greg from taking part in Matthieu's journey, he has sent a letter sharing his memories of Nanita.
Dear Matthieu, I first met Nanita, or Annie, when I was living in the Philippines. I was immediately drawn to this beautiful woman with wild curly hair. Your mother, Annie, she was full of life. I loved her dearly, and I'm deeply pained by her loss. Annie spent many hours crocheting this beautiful red blanket as a gift for my mother. My mother passed many years ago. Her and Annie were very close. And I know that they will both love you to have it. It is the first time I got something from my mum. It is very special. It is very special.
Greg's grief was deepened because initially he was the prime suspect in Nanita's disappearance.
Matthieu, I have always felt that I was kept in the dark in terms of how the investigation was handled, and felt that I was always treated like a guilty person.
And while the focus was on Greg, he believes other evidence was being overlooked.
The fact that 2 female staff members disappeared from the Melbourne club, and yet nothing was further investigated into this, has caused me a tremendous amount of pain. And I do agree with that. You know, I think it is a good time now to get more information about this story. It's a very good time.
Disturbingly, Nanita's disappearance is one of 3 unsolved cases involving women connected to the Melbourne Club. There's been another disappearance and a murder. The common denominator in all these cases, long-time Melbourne Club employee Vincenzo Leonardi.
Really good to see it. Really good to see it. Fantastic. Yeah.
The Age newspaper crime reporter John Sylvester has been following the story for more than 20 years.
I think maybe you should understand the whole background to the story. Way back into the 50s, we were bringing in migrants from Europe, and Italians, Greeks particularly. And it was quite usual for the father to come out by themselves until they've settled. And then they'd call for their family.
Yeah.
There was this guy, Vincenzo Leonardi. He came out, he started a job at the Melbourne Club. Now that's the most exclusive establishment club in Victoria. He builds himself up till he starts running the staff, the service staff.
Established in 1838, the Melbourne Club is a private, male-only social club. Its membership has included many of the country's prominent politicians, judges and businessmen. When Nanita arrived in Australia in 1985, she landed a job there as a housemaid, under the supervision of Vincenzo Leonardi.
Leonardi obviously appreciates her work because she's promoted, but I think that he was grooming her. I think that he was giving her special treatment. He was driving her home. He lived in Brighton and she lived on the other side of town. And that's when an anonymous call was made to husband Greg. Do you know that they're having an affair? Then she was put in charge of doing the floral arrangements and she enjoyed it and saw that she had talent. She went off and did night school.
So on the 8th of January, 1987, she wasn't working anymore at the Melbourne Club, but she came back to show her portfolio?
Yes.
Okay, and this is where she met for the last time?
Yes.
Leonardi.
I would say at that point, she has made it clear, I've got a new life and you're not part of it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not going to work at the Melbourne Club. You won't be driving me home. I'm off to be a florist. That's why I think she ended up paying a terrible cost, because she was no longer prepared to be a plaything for this fella. But then she goes out and she's never seen again.
When my mother disappeared, how long it took for the police to take it seriously?
Within a short period of time, she was reported missing, and then they honed in on Greg. Yeah. And they actually were told of a potential affair, so that actually gave them a motive, jealousy. Yeah. So they didn't look at Leonardi, they looked at Greg. Go forward a couple of years to 1990, when another woman, another member of the staff, Milagros Dark, her body is found and she's bashed to death. Again, it's suggested that she was having an affair with Leonardi. She's also Filipina, she also worked for him.
As in Nanita's case, when Milagros Dark was murdered, her husband was the main suspect. But charges against him were dropped through lack of evidence. At Nanita's inquest in 1995, the spotlight was finally shone on Leonardi.
Vince Leonardi was an extremely violent father. He treated the family badly. Two of the girls were having an argument and he threw an axe at one of them. On one occasion, he assaulted one of the girls so badly she was in bed for 3 weeks. And she was told next time he may kill her. Wow.
Full on, isn't it?
That's full on.
When it came to the inquest, he chose not to give evidence on the grounds of self-incrimination.
But more alarming details about Leonardi's past have surfaced, including an astonishing episode from his early days in Australia. Before his wife arrived from Italy, there was another woman.
Leonardi, he ended up taking a girl virtually as a de facto wife, Anna Maria Pontarola.
Yeah.
Now, this girl Pontarola, she ends up disappearing, but nobody reported her missing. She just disappears off the face of the earth.
John Silverster just confirmed my opinion about Vincenzo Leonardi. I believe the three stories are connected. Anna Maria Pontarolo and Mila Dark, as well as my mum.
Leonardi took his secrets to the grave in 2009. But could shining a light on his de facto wife, who vanished 66 years ago, be the key to Matthieu solving his mother's disappearance? Kerry Stevenson is investigating why her mum, Joan MacDonald, suddenly abandoned her dance career in May 1948.
Come and take a seat.
Well-known Melbourne identity Anne Peacock has looked into the next phase of Joan's life to find she has rocketed into high society.
Goodness me. Let me just get my glasses. All right. So Westminster Register Office, on the 14th of July 1948, she married Alfred Edward Daff.
Correct.
Goodness me, he was 45.
Yes.
And she's 20. And it says here that her father was John Wilton MacDonald.
Yes.
Now, I haven't uncovered anything about who he is. That's another mystery. It's another mystery.
So this is the Bombay dance that led to romance.
Elegant Mrs. Al Daff met her husband when she was a member of a ballroom adagio dancing team. The couple met in Bombay, became engaged in Scotland, so he must have followed her.
And here is a picture of them having just been married.
For goodness sake. It says former Melbourne dancer Joan MacDonald, after her recent marriage to Mr. Alfred E. Daff, Vice President of Universal Films of America.
Movie mogul Al Daff was born in Melbourne in 1902. Joining Universal Pictures in 1920 as an office boy, he worked his way up to oversee all of Universal's business outside the USA. At the time he married Joan, twice divorced Daff was the highest paid Australian in the film world.
Once she was married to this vice president, film executive.
Yeah.
She was the talk of the town here in Melbourne.
Mrs. Daff had a busy day yesterday, but between her luncheon and tea engagements, the sun caught up with her at a city hairdressing salon. She buys her cocktail dresses and suits in Paris and her other clothes in New York or California. Oh, didn't she have the life?
She certainly sounded
and she
like
and her
she
husband
did.
returned to America. Mrs. Daff's mother, who is now Mrs. Watkins. Oh, now that's interesting. That's very interesting. Her mother will accompany them on a holiday.
You didn't know this before?
Absolutely not. No, never knew that her mother went on holiday. What's the next?
Read some of these pieces, see some of these pieces.
Since Mrs. Alfred Daff visited Melbourne 18 months ago, she and her husband have made 3 trips to Europe. They have one apartment in New York's Fifth Avenue and another at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Of course she did. Fantastic photos. Amazing. But things must have changed again because, of course, she didn't stay with Al Daff, so...
And that brings us to the certificate of divorce.
Right. They separated in January 55, and it was an absolute. Divorce granted to the wife, but no children. Phew.
Just take another look here. It says cause for the divorce.
Oh, wow. Extreme cruelty. Okay, so it doesn't sound like he was a very nice man.
This was the second time Daff had been divorced on grounds of cruelty.
You know, he's this very successful film executive travelling all over the world, but actually, to women, he sounds like he's a bit of a nightmare. And I would suggest that in today's world, that behaviour would not be tolerated. What a story. Like, in the beginning, it was a fairy tale, but she was smart enough to get out when she did.
But what was to become of Joan? Now the high life was over and she was having to make her own way again.
So on the marriage certificate, she didn't put a profession on there. It's blank. But then you go on to when they got divorced 6 years later, and her usual occupation is an actress in the theatre. I have a poster at home from when she acted in a play called The Little Hut. I know she did some television back here in Australia, but I don't know what sort of work. I thought she did some work in Hollywood, so I, again, don't know a lot.
Re-emerging after her divorce, Joan had more than a new career. She had a whole new identity.
Hi, I'm Carl.
Film and television critic Carl Quinn has been scrutinising her acting career.
So, Kerry, we're here in the Princess Theatre. Do you know what this building represents in your mother's story?
Absolutely no idea.
Absolutely nothing, at all? Okay.
Nothing.
So, in 1955, she came here and appeared in a play called The Little Hut.
Oh, this is where it was.
This is where it was. So, I'll show you a little something.
This is October 1st, 1955. Joanne Duff, who arrived in Melbourne from America this week, will take over the role of Susan in The Little Hut.
So, of course, your mum was appearing in Australia as Joanne Duff.
Yes.
Until not long before this, she's been Joan Daff.
Yes.
So, presumably what's happened is that at the end of the marriage, she's decided to recast herself, and part of that is, I guess, tweaking the name.
Yeah, she's just tweaked it, hasn't she?
Yeah.
She hasn't completely changed it. Reinventing herself along the way, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, Princess Theatre. Vivacious, scintillating Joanne Duff has worked for some time in theatre in Scotland prior to going to the United States. She's appeared in numerous plays in America. She's also proved extremely popular with television audiences, and whilst in Hollywood, Miss Duff worked at the famous Universal Studios.
So she's come back from America.
Yep.
You know, she's renowned as somebody who's been a bit of a deal in America. So, you know, she's billed here as quite an attraction.
Joanne's resume and press releases lay out an impressive list of credits. But do they all measure up?
It's hard to tell from this CV how big a career it was. It's this talk of having worked at Universal Studios.
Yeah.
It's like, was she a contracted actor, or was she making tea? You know,
Yeah.
there's a certain sort of a looseness, let's say, of detail.
Sure.
Just one point to make about the feature films here.
Oh, yes.
And she says she had featured roles. We've been through these films, and it's not been possible to identify her in any of them, and she's not listed in the credits.
Yeah, OK, fair enough. Oh, well.
But Carl has tracked down vision of Joanne on the small screen.
There is actually a little bit of video.
Really?
Guest starring in the iconic Australian television series
Cool.
Homicide.
I've never seen this.
Wait for me, please.
And what time did this happen, Mr. Duncan?
About 10 last night.
Your neck doesn't seem to be bruised.
Well, he managed to control himself. But you can see what he did to my eye. Gordon's in Sydney at present. It might be best if I let you know when he returns.
Good. Well, we'll leave it at that, eh?
I wouldn't want some innocent person blamed for what might happen.
Don't cross your bridges until you come to them.
So what did you think of her?
Flashes of my mother. I'll always support my mum and go, fantastic. But, you know, the acting then was very different from what it is today.
Joanne's return to Melbourne would prove to be much more than a career move. It would change her life forever.
So she comes back to Australia and she's in the little hut here at the Princess Theatre. And I think, from what I understand, Dad was in the audience.
The chance meeting would lead to Joanne's next role. She married Commander John Stevenson in February 1958. Unaware, the past she thought she'd left behind was about to catch up with her. Matthieu Heimel's search for his missing mum, Nanita, may hinge on the uninvestigated disappearance of another woman, also linked to Nanita's old boss, Vincenzo Leonardi.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Come in.
Former detective Simon Illingworth has been evaluating information that has recently surfaced about Anna Maria Pontarolo.
Vince Leonardi came to Australia, and he came on a boat that arrived on the 28th of May in 1950. So here, passenger 398 is Vincent Leonardi. So this is where it gets interesting. So at 465, so you have Maria Pontarolo, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So they're on the same boat, okay? Yeah. Obviously, they've got together on the boat and she's pregnant. And she's pregnant to Vince Leonardi. The researchers have found what is believed to be the only photograph of Anna Maria.
Wow.
So she starts residing with Vince, who's also waiting for his wife to come, right? She has 2 children, to Vince. They're living under the same roof. His wife comes over and she lives under the same roof too.
All right.
Okay? And then, for whatever reason, Anna Maria's gone. Completely missing, off the face of the earth. There's no report of her missing, there's nothing, right? So he's now living in the house with his wife. Anna Maria's 2 children, 2 daughters. Vince then convinced those children that Flora, his wife, was their mother. So they lived that lie for many years. You don't have to be a homicide investigator to go, well, there's something significant has happened there. Having said that, Anna Maria's family are concerned. They sent Anna Maria's sister. She came down looking for Anna Maria. Vince has said, don't talk to the children about Anna Maria. Right? They think that Flora's the mother. And you can only assume that Vince has said that she's run off. I mean, what else would you say? So Matthew, all that I've shown you here, this has never come to light, right? Not in an inquest, not in anything. So
this is great.
It's wonderful, isn't it? So whilst she's not part of your actual situation, this is really crucial and critical because it's revolving around Vince. Okay?
From your point of view, what would be the next step?
Well, the next step is, I think, hopefully the police will speak to Vince's wife, Flora. Once Flora dies, I think a lot of that story is going to go. But I think if Flora knows something, then she may well be able to help us.
I hope that the police will restart to find some crucial information here.
Yes. The police will hopefully look at this because it's not just about you, is it?
No, it's about, my family in the Philippines, Greg Evans as well.
Even the two children here?
Yes, that's right. It's crazy stuff.
I would be very disappointed and frustrated if the police doesn't consider again this case. So I hope that the work I've done will be the beginning for a new investigation. If my birth mother was here, she will be, I think, very happy that someone stand up and speak on her behalf.
The key to finding his mum may ultimately lie in Matthieu's own DNA. At the Victorian Institute of Forensic Medicine, Dr. Dadna Hartman has his test results. The search for Nanita may end right here.
Your DNA profiles were added to the Victorian Missing Persons DNA database and searched against the profiles that we hold for deceased persons on the database. From that search, we weren't able to find any matches to your profiles. So we presently don't have an Anita on a database. The report that there had been a body found at a beach. We need to go through those records manually to see if there's any that match those. To date, we haven't found one, but we'll keep looking.
I think the next step is to see if I can talk to the police and to see what they can do to make a difference.
Definitely, yes.
Unfortunately, I didn't get answers about what's happened to my mother. In saying that, I believe that it is the right time now to reinvestigate the main suspect, Mr. Vincenzo Leonardi.
Matthieu's last chance for a breakthrough rests with presenting his case to the police. Kerry Stevenson has learned that her mother returned to Australia as the actress Joanne Duff to marry Commander John Stevenson in 1958. To get the family perspective on Joanne...
Kerry, come in. How are you?
Kerry is calling on her cousin, Sandy Grant.
Come in.
Yeah, I'd started wondering a bit more about your mother's background when we were at her funeral, and in all of the eulogies, her life seemed to start at...
From when they married?
From when they married. She seemed to be born at that marriage. There was no school, no parents. I did start wondering what was it that she was withholding.
Lies were being told even on her wedding day.
Stage and Navy wed. Joanne Duff of New York chose St Valentine's Day for her wedding to Commander John Philip Stevenson, RAN, an American citizen. Wow, she is the daughter of the late Mr. and Mrs. John Milton MacDonald of Toorak, and New York.
Which is a very confusing statement.
Very confusing. So your parents basically thought my mother was an American actress with no family in Australia.
They had no idea she had family in Australia, no.
But the wedding would be rocked by a bigger scandal.
Halfway through the reception, there was an unusual event by any standards. A woman had arrived and was demanding to be let in, and she was claiming to be your mother's mother. So Joanne came and told her to go away, sent her away.
Wow. Did my mother have to defend the fact that actually she's got an Australian mother?
Your mother always avoided talking about herself and her family.
Finding out that Mum actually said that she was an American actress and didn't have family here, and then to find out that her mother actually turned up at the reception wanting to come in must have been quite extraordinary. I think she was embarrassed by her mum. So as she married my father, it was almost like she didn't want her past to come up. And it was interesting what Sandy said, where, you know, if people tried to pry, she would walk away. But she was Joan MacDonald. So who is my grandfather, John MacDonald? That, to me, is the big bit of the puzzle that's missing. Who's John MacDonald?
Kerry Stevenson is searching for the truth about her mysterious grandfather, John MacDonald.
Hi.
I'm Alicia.
Oh, hi, Alicia. Kerry, nice to meet you.
At the State Library of Victoria, historian Alicia Serrato has been examining the life of Kerry's grandmother, Ivy, and made a startling discovery.
Oh, OK. May the 30th, 1927, John MacDonald married Ivy Lee. So she was obviously pregnant because my mother was born in December. So she was just pregnant.
There we are.
That's a big piece of the puzzle.
And I thought we could have a look at a photo of Gladys Ivy.
And so that's her.
That's her.
So they got married.
Yes.
And then something happened.
Something happened. So this is a newspaper article from June 1927.
Young man Oh, extraordinary evidence was tendered to Collingwood Court yesterday during the hearing of a charge against John Milton Tout, who was charged with bigamy. Gladys Ivy Lee, 24 years, said she had known the accused for 2 years. At Christmas, he asked her to marry him. She consented. On 30th of May, they went through the form of marriage. The accused gave the name of John MacDonald. So his name is John Milton Tout.
That's right. So John MacDonald was an invented name.
An invented name?
Yes.
Wow. Goodness me. And then it goes, a present to the bride.
Yeah.
He was further charged with having stolen a diamond ring valued at £15, the property of Mrs. Keenan of Chelsea. On the 1st of May, she left the ring in her room and it disappeared. Gladys Lee said that when they started on their honeymoon, the accused produced the ring and asked her to wear it. The accused was also sent for trial on this charge. Oh, my goodness, what a mess.
Yes.
So he married my grandmother, but it was bigamy because he was still married to somebody else.
Yes.
What a naughty boy.
Yes. So there's an article in this newspaper from the 2nd of August 1927.
OK, leniency for the wife's sake. John Milton Tout received the benefit of the First Offenders Act. Mr. Justice MacArthur said that he had a good wife who was prepared to receive him back and live with him. It would be doing the wife a great wrong to send her husband to prison. You can consider yourself very fortunate, said Mr. Justice MacArthur. You should be thoroughly ashamed of yourself. You have behaved disgracefully. Wow.
Yeah. The judge gave him some leniency.
But it means that he left my grandmother.
He left your grandmother?
Yeah.
Yes.
He said, bad luck, you're on your own.
Would you like to see a photo of your grandfather?
Yes, I would love to. So this is my grandfather. That looks like a mugshot.
Yeah, it does. But it is a World War II shot, and that would have been...
World War II, OK.
Yeah, when he joined the Air Force.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You're a naughty man. All all through the process, I've always wanted to know, who's this John McDonald? So Mum always said that her father died in a motorbike accident. But, you know, if you tell yourself something often enough, it becomes truth. And so that was her truth. She wanted to create a new life. She didn't want to continue with the history of what had been in the past, which is why she never wanted to talk about it. I think she just visualised her own future and made it happen. How does it make me feel? Lighter. It was going around in my head, who was she, who was she, who was she? Now I know. I've uncovered some amazing things. And isn't it interesting how, you know, we're only here for a breath, but in that breath of life, so many things can happen.
Matthieu Heimel has discovered his mother's disappearance in 1987 is closely related to 2 other cold cases. His own inquiries have unearthed new information he's keen to pass on to the authorities. At the Missing Persons Unit, Matthieu is meeting with Detective Inspector Andrew Stamper.
What about the case of my mother, my birth mother, Nenita Evans? Is it still open?
Look, well, the case is open, yes, so we never close missing persons cases. So, sadly, we're still no closer to, you know, finding the answers that you need as to what happened to your mum. That's not to say that we don't keep looking.
What is your opinion about Vincenzo Leonardi? Because we've got 3 women who seems to be connected to him.
Yeah, he has been looked at as a suspect a number of times over the years, and there's a lot of information there that would suggest that he was a strong person of interest. But in terms of whether or not he was, you know, perpetrated a crime against your mother, I don't know.
We have found some information about Ana Maria Pontarolo.
We don't know an awful lot about Ana Maria, so anything that would assist with that would be good.
What further evidence will be required to crack this case?
We need people to come forward and assist us, and if they are holding some secrets, that's what we need. What I will undertake today to you is to review this case.
I was very pleased to have a meeting with Victorian Police. This is exactly what I was looking for. I was trying to get a team of professionals on my side to start to look and to reinvestigate the case. When I went to Melbourne, I was focusing on the disappearance of my birth mother. What I understand now is that my priorities changed. It is not anymore about looking only for my origins. It is also to fight for those women who were left behind without nobody knew what happened to them. I believe that my mother will be very proud that I'm fighting for people who don't have a voice. When it comes to my 2 boys, if they ask me who is my grandmother, I will be able to tell them who she was. And if they ask me, and so what have you done for her, I will be proud, and I will be able to tell them. So that I did everything I can to find her.